Butter, once widely condemned as a dietary hazard, has experienced a significant revival in recent years as nutritional science has moved beyond simplistic fat phobia. For decades, butter was emblematic of all that was supposedly wrong with traditional diets: rich in saturated fat, associated with high cholesterol, and believed to clog arteries. As a result, it was replaced in many households with margarine and industrial seed oils, which were marketed as heart-healthy alternatives. But as long-term studies began to untangle the complex relationships between dietary fat, cholesterol, and chronic disease, butter's vilification began to look more like a cultural overcorrection than a science-based judgment. Today, butter, especially when sourced from grass-fed cows, is increasingly seen not as a guilty pleasure, but as a traditional, minimally processed fat that can offer nutritional benefits when used wisely. The turning point in butter's reputation came with a deeper investigation into saturated fat itself. While saturated fats do raise LDL cholesterol in some individuals, research has shown that not all LDL particles are equally harmful. More importantly, saturated fats like those found in butter also raise HDL cholesterol, potentially improving the overall lipid profile. Numerous large-scale meta-analyses have found no clear link between saturated fat intake and increased risk of heart disease when consumed in moderate amounts as part of a balanced diet. This has led many nutrition experts to reclassify butter not as inherently dangerous, but as a context-dependent food whose effects depend on the overall dietary pattern and lifestyle. Grass-fed butter, in particular, offers a richer nutritional profile than its conventional counterpart. When cows graze on fresh pasture, the fat in their milk contains significantly higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are known to support cardiovascular and cognitive health. Grass-fed butter also contains more vitamin K2, a nutrient essential for calcium metabolism and arterial health, and higher levels of fat-soluble antioxidants such as vitamin A and vitamin E. These micronutrients are often deficient in modern diets and play key roles in supporting immune function, eye health, and skin integrity. One of the most intriguing compounds found in butter from grass-fed cows is conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, a naturally occurring trans fat that behaves very differently from industrial trans fats found in hydrogenated oils. CLA has been studied for its potential to support fat metabolism, reduce inflammation, and even provide some protection against cancer in animal models. Human studies have shown that CLA may help reduce body fat in overweight individuals and may also contribute to improved insulin sensitivity. While more research is needed to fully understand CLA's impact in humans, its presence in grass-fed butter adds another layer of functional benefit to a food that was once seen as purely indulgent. Butter also contains butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that has gained attention for its role in gut health and inflammation control. Butyrate is produced by healthy gut bacteria during the fermentation of dietary fiber, but it's also found directly in small amounts in butterfat. Emerging evidence suggests that butyrate supports the integrity of the intestinal lining, helps regulate immune responses, and may even protect against metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes. Although butter is not the primary dietary source of butyrate, its contribution, especially in the context of a gut-friendly diet, adds to its nutritional appeal. Importantly, butter is a natural food that requires minimal processing and contains no artificial ingredients, preservatives, or industrially altered fats. Unlike margarine or low-fat spreads, which often contain emulsifiers and refined vegetable oils, real butter is simply churned cream. This simplicity is increasingly valued by those following whole food diets that emphasize ingredient transparency and food quality. In culinary terms, butter also enhances the flavor and texture of many foods, allowing people to derive more satisfaction from smaller portions, a subtle but important factor in long-term dietary sustainability. That said, butter is still a concentrated source of calories and should be consumed in moderation, particularly for those with existing cardiovascular risks. It works best when used as a replacement for ultra-processed fats rather than as an add-on. Swapping margarine, shortening, or processed vegetable oils for a modest amount of grass-fed butter can improve both nutrient density and flavor, especially when paired with vegetables, whole grains, or lean proteins. It's also worth noting that many of the benefits of butter, like CLA and omega-3 content, are most pronounced in grass-fed varieties, which may be more expensive or harder to find than conventional options. Butter's return to the nutritional spotlight reflects a broader rethinking of dietary fat and a move away from outdated guidelines that painted all saturated fats with the same brush. When sourced from grass-fed animals and used as part of a balanced, whole food diet, butter is far from the nutritional villain it was once made out to be. Instead, it offers a rich array of beneficial compounds that can support metabolic, cardiovascular, and gut health. Its redemption reminds us that food quality, sourcing, and context matter, and that traditional foods often contain layers of wisdom and nourishment overlooked by decades of reductionist thinking.